we start we've now moved into the early afternoon. All the rest of the reserve batteries have come in. Buford, like I said, is out of the game now. So you take his chit and his artillery, and it's basically gone. So you remove that. Available for the Federal Army, you can see that there. Plus all those chits are coming in this turn. Wow. Confederates, again, nobody coming in this turn unless we roll for early arrivals. And I am looking at the board here. We're going to start with, they are at turn 8. I didn't do that last turn. I said they were, I didn't realize they were coming in. So I can do do they come in this turn? Go ahead and roll. They rolled a 2. They do. So they are going to come in on H. So I'll move them to H right now. All right. Which is going to be down here. So I've got Union troops coming in here to bolster that line. I've got troops coming here to bolster that line, and I've got troops coming in here to bolster that line. Not looking good for the Confederates with nothing coming in. I'm not going to do early entries for the Rebels or Confederates. I don't need to do it, certainly for the Union with all this coming in, and I don't want to risk delaying Pickett. Yeah, I might get a victory point or two for him being delayed, but definitely not worth it in terms of failing that roll. Because I'm in early afternoon, we do not remove an artillery chit from the pool, even though the Confederates still occupied the objective there on Cemetery Hill. And take a minute to look at points. So if you look at the points right now, the Union is sitting with 8 and 5, that's 13. The Confederates are sitting with 8 and 7 is 15. So you say it's 15 to 13 Confederates. Good time to talk about that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to roll for objectives. D6, which is really a D3, meaning you roll a D6 and divide it by 2. And whoever owns those objectives gets those points. So with the Confederates only owning 1 objective point right now, there's no way they can win this with 15. Even if they roll a 3, that's an 18. And even if the Federals roll a 1 on all the remaining objectives, and I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left, that would give them 5 more. So Confederates need to get at least 1, if not 2 objectives before the battle is over and keep the casualties at pace. So we will see as that progresses as we move in to the afternoon phase. Okay, so I fixed the retreating units here and moved them back. And remember, after the Kapan phase, any units adjacent to the enemy on an elevated and clear terrain would have to retreat. Again, great example, elevated and clear would have to retreat. Unless you've got units at the same elevation as the enemy, then you don't have to. So then we move down here. They don't, because Culp's Hill is not clear terrain, it's forest. So I can stay at the base of Culp's Hill here. And we already discussed this on the last video. So as we move in, you can see how the turn is shaping out right now. And we will get ready to move the turn in. And there's a real chance that the Federals, if the Confederates get the jump to get up this hill, that could be a big loss of an objective point right down there for the Federal Army, which will really expose their entire right flank if that closes up. They're strong in the center, strong on the left flank, but did they divert too many units that way? Now keep in mind, there is a lot coming in this turn for the Federals that can bolster up along this path, this line. And again, if that unit gets the jump and the activation, they can potentially come up and bolster some defenses here as well. And you still got those units coming in here. So next turn's gonna be very exciting. Can't wait. Okay, and welcome back. Let's do our artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 artillery in the pool. That means 8 will get pulled. Buford is out. Reserve cavalry for the Federals are set. First one up is gonna be, we have Hood's artillery. We have Early's artillery, that's 2. We have Anderson's artillery, that's 3. McLaws is 4. Come on, Federals. Johnson is 5. Wow. Rhodes is 6. And there we go. 7 is 12th Corps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get one more pull, so let's do that again. And the last one is also federal. We are going to get the 2nd Corps. Everything else will go on the side. Alrighty. Really good pull for the Confederates. So let's go ahead. We now move into, as a reminder, turn 8. Early entry. I am not going to try to get Pick It Up early because, again, I'm just all congested here. I will try to get Doubleday in early. The last formation of his. Let's go ahead and do a roll. So on a 1, 2, or 3, he comes in early. I got a 6, so he's going to come in 2 turns too late. I don't get victory points. That's a terrible roll. So he's going to come in on 10. I am certainly not going to roll for the 9th. For the 6th Corps now to come in. So all this is coming in on turn 9. We are on turn 8. All right. Let's see who activates first. First chit to pull will be Anderson's. Anderson's way back here, so let's go ahead and roll for him. He gets a 2. Oh, do we get Lee this turn? Hold on. No Lee. Anderson of a 2 is going to give him a movement of 4. Really bad movement. 1, 2, 3. Wow, just getting crushed here on the movement with Anderson, but I just have to get him out of the way. I'm just going to move them all up right here. That might be a terrible move to do, but it's what I'm going to do. 1, 2. So they're all in this ditch. Man, I have moved the Confederates terribly. I would like to play this again and do this much different next time, just for the record. Next up, we've got the 12th Corps. They're going to get a movement of 5. So that's going to be a nice movement of 8, which is big, I think. So they are here. Okay. So I am going to go move out to here and here and here. And I'm going to protect this objective. And I'm actually going to continue to spread out. Because what I don't want to do is, I don't think they can, it's a long movement, but I don't want the rebels to get up on the hill to begin with. So I'm going to do something like this. Okay, so I'm going to hold this, and we'll see what happens here when that comes up. All right, next pool is going to be Heath, who's still around. You got it, man. The rebels are just rolling so bad on their movement. That's terrible. So a 2 is a movement of 4, and he is here, so he can do an attack if he wants to. But I don't want to attack yet. I'm going to continue to bring troops up, so they're actually not going to do anything. So actually, it wasn't too bad that I drew him. I'm going to hold tight. Next up is Early. I changed my dice up. 1 didn't help at all. All right, Early with a 1. Just really bad movement. You can see how playing this game multiple times differently with different rolls would impact some things. So it's a movement of 4 for Early, which is just terrible. Where is he at? Well, actually not too bad to waste that roll here because you can see we aren't moving anyway, so that's totally fine. I still have my combat chit. Lee will not be available this turn. Next up, all right, we got some Union troops, and we have the 9th Corps on the move, and they get a movement of 2. 9th Corps movement of 2 is 4. They are here, so I certainly want to get into here and bolster this. So I'm going to move this troop. Move them up to here and hold this flank tight. I'm going to hope to hold on with that. I'm not going to abandon that post, obviously, so that is it. right, no other troops left. Next roll, next pull is, okay, that's important. I did get the third core to go. They rolled a 2. I'm rolling bad across the board, which is 4, but that's all they really needed. So they're gonna go 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 to secure the orchid, peach orchard, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to use march movement to basically get all of that to, oh, this should have been in, sorry. All right, we didn't do that. So, okay, I've secured my left flank for the Federals. I feel good about that. Gaping hole in the middle, but all that's out there is Johnson, so I'm not too worried at all. Next pull. Pender. Come on, Pender. All right, that's decent. Pender got a 4. There's gonna be an 8 movement, so let's get him on the move. We're gonna go 1. He's here, so he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So at least I've got some of Pender's troops starting to flank out this way to create a threat. And start to finally clear up this section of the road. Next up is Johnson. And Johnson is over here. Let's see what he does with his move. 3. Johnson's move of 3 is going to give him 6. There's just so much out here against me right now. So I'm actually thinking, all right, I pulled these Federals back. Maybe I start to pull back and threaten over here a little bit. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. So I'm gonna do this with Johnson. So now the Confederates have fainted. The Federals have responded, but because of movement order, the Confederates are able to cut that feint. And now there is a chance to get some units cut off here. But again, Federals have a ton coming in. I don't even think that's a big deal. But we shall see. Next chit. McClaws. McClaws rolled a 6, and boy, do they need that. That's an 8 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to take that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He can't get there. The furthest he can get is right there. And then he can get there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So at least some of his units were able to get up here when I go do my attack, which may be cool. We'll see. Next unit to go is going to be Rhodes. This might be where I pull my chit for combat. Rhodes rolled a 2. A 2 movement for Rhodes is 4. And I think it is time to make a combat because I've got some good abilities. Let's go 1, 2. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go 1, 2 to here. I think units of different formation, I don't remember if they can stack together or not. I should know that by now, guys, so I apologize. If no other units of the parent division are in play because they've been eliminated, or if the unit has only a core designation. So I can't stack here. 2 and 1 can't stack, so I'm just gonna hold this unit in reserve right here and hold them up. And I will use my combat chit. I still have Hood, but he's not gonna get anywhere. So I'm gonna use my combat chit for the Confederates and we're gonna do some combat. All right. really want Culp's Hill, so we're going to start down here. I got Gordon and Hayes against Barnes. One thing I didn't do well last game is you combine modifiers. So the hill is a +1 and the steep slope is a +1, so you combine that for 2. And I missed that last game, or last turn, so I apologize for that. So, yep, hill is 1 and steep is 1. So basically what that means is +2 is 4. 4 against 2 is usually 2-to-1 odds. 1 for the hill is now 4 against 3. 1 for the steep slope is now 4 against 4, so it's 1-to-1 odds. I have artillery from Johnson. Well, it's Johnson's. I am not going to use it. I have Early's artillery, which I can use, but it's not going to. It's weird. The artillery really doesn't make a factor in some of these ratios. I don't understand the thought of that. I mean, I can use it. It would make it 5-to-4, which would still be to 1-to-1. Confederates can use theirs back, which would be 5-to-5, which would be 1-to-1. So I think it's just extreme circumstances where the artillery works. So we are 1-to-1 odds, guys. Let's go at it. On 1-to-1 odds, there are no modifiers. So you just roll. So I need a 1, 2, or 3 for Rhodes to avoid a step loss. No modifier. 1, 2, or 3 to avoid a step loss. He got a 2, so he avoids it. He holds tight. 1, 2, or 3 for Hayes. He rolls a 3, so that's going to be a loss, and he's got to retreat 3. No, he does not retreat. Attackers never retreat, so he takes a loss, and he is going to be a victory point for the Federals. And then we have Early rolls. He makes it. He holds his ground. Then over here on Culp's Hill, we have a 3 against a 2. So here's where I probably do want to use my artillery. So I will use Early's artillery here, which makes it a 3-3. This way, if the Confederate, oh, wait a minute. This might be a bad attack, but it is what it is. This is a 1 and a 2 against 2 and 3. So it's 3 against 2, but I'm on a hill. That makes it 4 against 2. I am on no steep hepside. So it's 4-2. I will use my artillery to make it 4-3. That's important. Even if he uses his artillery, that will only make it 5-3, which would make it still 1-to-1 odds. So we'll leave it. There is no modifier, so we will roll first for this unit here, 1, 2, or 3. He rolls a 5, so he'll take a step loss and retreat 2. 1, 2, retreat to here, and that's a Confederate victory. And this unit here needs a 1, 2. He rolls a 5. That's a 3-step. Oh, he's eliminated. So that is an eliminated unit. Okay. And now I got to roll for Hoax, 1, 2, or 3. He is eliminated. Wow, costly battle. That's going to move the victory points to 10 for the Federal. And now we're going to roll for Early, 1, 2, 3, and he is eliminated. Wow. So even though Culp's Hill is open, there are no troops there to take it. That's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And we got to give a victory point for the Federals. So they held their ground here, even though everyone had to pull out, mass carnage. But Culp's Hill stands in control of the Union. That was pretty cool. All right, we're going to come over to this battle here. There's a lot of things going on here, so I'm going to start with I'd really like to get up on this point right here. That's a key spot. So he's a 2 and he's a 3. I can bring to bear on this unit him. That's 4-3. And I can bring one of these units. So I'm going to bring Heath to bear on here. So that's going to be, because I can split my attacks. So these three can all attack this unit because that they all have them in their zone of control, and there's no one else in their zone of control except this unit, but I am attacking him. So, and because I am on the same level as him, he loses the defense capability of the hill. So he is a 2. I am a 2, 4, 6 to 2. So I'm currently 6 to 2. That's my clause. I'm going to use his artillery to go 7 to 2. The Union is going to use one of the reserve batteries to go 7 to 3, which makes that 2 to 1 odds. 2 to 1 odds. My attack loss limit is 4. So that's everyone in the battle, because I only have 3 in the battle. So we'll roll for the defender first. He is a 2 plus 1. He rolled a 1. Great roll. Unbelievable. What a defense. Valiant defense there. This is going to hurt. All right, McClaws rolls a 3. He's going to make it with the modifier. Davis, 6, is going to take a hit. And his turn is a 4. Again, he doesn't pull back because he's the attacker. He is going to take a victory point for the Federals. And then over here, 3, 4 with the defense. He's okay. So huge stand right here. Now I've got a 1, again, a 2 to 1 odd, a 1 to 2 odds. I do not have artillery to use, so it's 1 to 2 odds. The Union does. They're going to use it. And now it's 1 to 3 odds. So 1 to 3 odds. Attacker loss limit. Only attacking units must roll at odds 1 to 3 or less. So I can't even hurt him because he was able to throw the artillery and I can't even hurt him. I'm going to roll my 3. I've got to beat a 3 on +2. Sorry, this is going to hurt me really bad. So let's see what I get. Oh, he's just wrecked and eliminated. So another casualty. Man, the Confederates are getting pounded up on this hill, man. Like, I really should have taken that spot, and unfortunately, I rode terribly. So these 2 here are going to attack now. I have a 4 against 3. Plus, he's on the hill. It's a 4 against 4. No one's going to use artillery. So 4 on 4 is 1 to 1, which is 0. So roll on the 4 here. He's good. Roll on the 4 here, he's good. Roll on the 4 here, he's good. And roll on the 3 here, he's good. So everyone holds here, and the last battle is going to be right here. So I've got 3 against 3 against 4, 4 to 3. Even if I throw artillery in, it's only 5 to 3, which is 1 to 1. So we're going to roll here first. All right, he misses. So he's going to take a step loss, and that's going to eliminate him because he's a weak unit. Delay, we get a victory point. Confederates are up to 10 now as well. So we're starting to see some bloodshed. This unit right here, 1, 2, and 3, he also takes a hit, and we'll drop back 1 for his miss, and that will be another victory point. And then here, I need 1, 2, 3, or 4. He's going to take a hit, and 1, 2, and he takes a hit. All right, so that's 2 victory points for the Federals. And wow, look how that turned out, man. Interesting. So I did win the battle, so I can advance up the hill, and I will. He made his roll. He didn't. Got it. So I'm now on the hill here. I'm on the hill here. I've got these units cut off. And unfortunately, all these reserves are coming against that small force. So that's the end of the battle there. Victory, in my mind, certainly for the Federal Army. Next pool is going to be the 2nd Corps. Let's roll and see their movement. Oh, wow. 1 is a movement of 4, so that's 16. That was a really bad roll, guys. 16. So they're coming in, and they are stretched on this road. I'm going to make sure as they come in that I am putting them where I want their numbers, because they all have different tactical efficiency ratings. So I'm going to just basically So that line is it's coming in, but it may not get there in time. That's interesting. This is a great turn. Next pull is Reynolds. Reynolds also rolled a 1, which is a 4. I don't want to give up the hill, but I am worried about defense over here. So I am going to go. Well, if Johnson gets the jump, he can potentially make it to this hill. So I'm actually going to have Reynolds defend the hill. And I'm going to try to have these units push the Confederates out of their bulge here and have these units come in and crush the right flank of the Confederates. That's what I'm thinking. Next pull, 5th Corps, 6. Nice roll. They'll get to move 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, with March movement, he can basically get all the way to here and here. And the rest of my movement will go I'm gonna leave it just like that. Okay. And last up is gonna be Hood. Hood rolls a 1, pathetic. 4 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Hood is coming in very slow, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alrighty, and Hood's I think he's a pretty good unit. So that's how the day's gonna end. Yeah, that's how it's gonna end. I probably could have used my sharpshooter chit. I probably should have used it. I'll try to remember that next turn. But that's the end of today's battle, and we'll get ready to move into the late afternoon when we see you again. Okay, so as the battle starts to unfold, you can see the left flank of the they rushed out. The Federal Army secured the wheat field, secured the peach orchard. Really no chance for the Confederates to get that. They were making a run for it, but there's no way. So now they're circling back. So a lot of wasted movement. You can see this long line of the 2nd Corps coming in to bolster this line to really protect Cemetery Ridge. You can see Cemetery Hill is certainly at risk. You can see Culp's Hill is currently wide open. So that's going to be interesting. Whoever gets the jump on that one is going to grab it. You can see the long line of Confederates that I've just destroyed them moving in here and have wrecked them. So after all that combat's done, you then have to do the retreat phase. And at the end of the operational phase, all friendly units in clear terrain adjacent to an enemy unit in clear terrain at a higher elevation must retreat 4 hexes. So clear terrain at a higher elevation. So not higher. Here I have someone at a higher elevation. But if another friendly unit is adjacent to him, they don't. So because Rhodes was able to get up on this hill, it allows his other divisions to stay tight and protect these units from retreating. These units, again, don't have to retreat because this unit's on the hill. So getting up on the hill was really important. And a reminder, I don't have to retreat here because of the steep side, because it's not clear terrain that they're in. And I think the forest does something for me. I don't remember, but I think it was more about the clear terrain that they're in. So I'm good. There's no mandatory retreats here. That will end the phase, and we'll get ready to get set up when we come back.